Okay, now we're going to work on the hinge that's going to connect all of the pages to the spine of the book. Different people call it different things. I just call it the accordion binding. Kathy Orta uses it all the time. I don't know who the first person to do it was. I'm sure I've seen it before she did it. But it's basically you do all these scores and folds and it makes these little fins and you stick everything on it. So that being said, that's what we're going to do here just because it's the easiest way to go. The pages themselves, we'll measure again. Keep measuring because I can't retain the numbers. Oh look, they're right there. The page is 5 5/8 inch tall. The width doesn't matter, it's the height that matters. Basically, how tall do you need this paper to be? So, now, if I haven't done one of these for the project I'm working on, I usually will have extra paper handy because I have a bad habit of messing it up. Just keep trying until you get it right. You know, it's repeat it. After you repeat things about 15 times, you get the idea of what you're supposed to be doing there. Let me put these scissors away. Okay. So, the usual way that I do this hinge, that's the paper. The usual way that I do this hinge is an inch, inch and a half at the beginning, and then a 1/4 inch between each of the fins. Sorry about that. So, an inch would be here. This is what you're connecting it to the book by. 1.5 inches, 2 inches, you can do whatever length you want. You do have to consider that each of the fins is an inch of paper, 1/2 inch tall, so inch on either side because it's folded in half. Will one paper be enough for 6 of them? I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? I'm going to do 1.5 inches because I think that's plenty. You know, they're not going to be heavy-duty carrying a bunch of stuff type of pages. So there's your 1.5 inches. So 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. That's your first gusset. This is 1.25 inches is what's going to attach to the book cover. You're going to have your 1/4 inch gusset. Then you're going to go 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Those two are your fin. They fold together. They fold down and together to make a fin that sticks up. Then you have another 1/4 inch gusset. Then 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. And again with a 1/4 inch gusset. Make sure you don't go out of the line like I just did. So that's 2 fins. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. That's 3 fins. 1/4 inch gusset. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. That's 4 fins. 1/4 inch gusset. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. That's 5 fins. 1/4 inch gusset. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. 1/4 inch gusset. Now you see that gives me a whole bunch of extra space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 fins worth of space with 1.25 inches on one side, and we only need 1.25 inches on this side, so I'm just going to lightly mark that we need to cut it at 10 1/4 to make it the right length. Okay, so let me put this stuff away and switch out, cut this down real quick, and we'll get the tape on there and get that puppy put together. Alright, so keyboard is in my way more than that is. Alright, so we need to cut this at 10 1/4. 10 1/4. Yep, that's right on top of the score mark that I made, which was just the lightest of score marks. Oh, sorry about that. Fix that real quick. Sorry. Wiggly wiggly. Alright, so this is your top, this is your back. Your back has all the bumps from all the scores. You're going to need your 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch, whatever this is here. Hold on. Preferably a 1/2 inch, but I don't have any 1/2 inch, so we're going to use 3/8 inch, yes. Whatever works. They're 1/2 inch, you know, pieces, so 1/2 inch will work perfectly in theory. Alright, find your edge. Now, you've got your 1.25 inch, 1/4 inch gusset, 1/2 inch. So for this, you're going to put your tape all the way down to the bottom edge, just inside that score line. You're going to skip the next 1/2 inch and the next 1/4 inch, and then put another strip of tape pretty close to the inside of the score line here. The score line is here, the tape is on that side of it. Then there's your score line, your other 1/2 inch, your other 1/4 inch. On your next 1/2 inch, another piece of tape. Again, skip the 1/2, skip the 1/4, put it in the next 1/2. And you could put it in either 1/2 inch side as long as you only put it on one of the two. Because there's 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 all the way down. So you only need tape on one of those because they're going to fold together. Okay? Hope that made some sense. So 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, put it in your next 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, put it in your next 1/2 inch. Oops. It's almost nowhere near the score line there. Alright. So those are done. And while I have it pinned down like this, I am going to put the 1/4 inch tape on the back of the gussets. The only reason I'm doing that is because it's just easier for me before I fold it all up. You don't need to take the backing off it yet. You don't need to do anything with it yet until you adhere it to the book. It's just easier for me. Like I said, it is nothing. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Actually, just so I don't confuse you, I'm going to skip it. How's that sound? And I'll just cut that part out because nobody needs to know. Alright. Now, you're going to fold, put it back upright. First of all, I'm going to cut off these little pieces. You can use a pair of scissors to do so if you want to. It doesn't matter, I just can't focus with them there. They make my OCD kick in. Funny, I have OCD on tape, but not my desk. You should see this. It's a disaster over here. So, this is your 1 1/4 inch piece on either end. Doesn't matter which way you start. If I can get the tape off the fingers. So you're going to fold your first fold up, your next fold up. You're going to fold, this is your 1/2 inch and your 1/2 inch. You're going to fold those like that. And then your next one's your 1/4, so you're going to fold that up and up. So either side of the 1/4 inch is folded up. The score in the middle, you're going to fold the paper down. Score in the middle of the two 1/2 inch parts, you're going to fold that down. And then your 1/4 inch, you're going to fold up and up. And then your 1/2 inches, you're going to fold one down. And then your 1/4 inch, up and up on either side. So, 1/4 inch, you fold this side up, and then you fold it up. Your 1/2 inch, you fold under, so it makes that. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just a little flap like that. Okay? And we're going to tape those together. That's why we put the adhesive on the other side. I like to just fold them a little bit first and get them kind of moving. So that, fold up, fold up, fold down, fold up, Fold up, down. Coordination, always helpful. 1/4 inch you fold up and up. Alright, so now when you flip it over, the 2 1/2-inch parts will have a dip and your little 1/4 inch parts will be up higher. So there's a little valley where your 1/2 inches are. Valley, 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 valley. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to peel that tape backing off, and you're going to make sure that you do your best to get these as lined up as possible so they're not all wiggly jiggly and looking decrepit. We don't want that. And then just push them together and don't hit your camera. And do it again. Pull your backing off and pull your 2 1/2-inch pieces up, the ones that are right next to each other, and make them meet each other. So line up your ends. Alright, and that makes a little fin. I hope you can see this little fin. Maybe? There you go, a little fin. And now we have 2 little fins. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest of these, and then we'll get back to making the book, and I'll show you what to do to make these easier to work with. Okay, I'll be back. Alright, I'm back, and I just started putting tape on here and realized I wasn't recording, so I stopped and hit the record button. So here we are. The tape goes on the little flap, the little fin. It goes halfway between the top and the bottom, because when you put the paper on there, you're not going to put it all the way to the edge or the page won't move freely. Okay, so you're going to put it on both front and back of the each fin, so all 6 of them. Don't worry about going over the edges. You're going to cut those off anyway. Tape tearing dysfunction. Really careful not to get this too close to the inside edge, because if you get it really close to the score lines and you don't put your page all the way down, you know, you're trying not to put your page all the way down there because you don't want it to be hindered. So if you don't put your page all the way down and you get the tape all the way down, it's going to stick out and it's going to be gooey and messy and you can't just, you know, wipe it off like you can glue. So you need to make sure you're relatively steady-handed with this. Alright. So we get our scissors out again. And you're going to cut from where it meets at the bottom, diagonally, roughly a 1/4 inch angle. So you're going to cut like that. So your piece looks like that. Okay, so it's just a notched edge. That way when you put things on top of it, like the book for instance, it will go on easier and you won't have to fight with it and try and get around the corners. So do that for all 6 of these on both sides. Okay, we left off at putting the tape on here. Now we're going to add the pages. I add the pages before I put this on there. It makes it easier to handle trying to slide the pages on when they're not attached to the book just yet. Next, after we get the pages attached to here, I'm going to show you how to make the book cover, then how to attach this to the book cover, and then from there we're just going to finish up with matting each page and adding the photo mats and tags and stuff. So let's get started. We already put the tape on here, probably about 5 minutes ago. These pages, if you remember, we did them back to back, so when you open them like this, the pocket lines up with the binding edge and has a little bit of a gap between the top of it and the top of the page, which the page base is the envelope, or the little security pocket, this is called, or security envelope as it's called anyway. So these will all go page with the flap on the left, page with the pocket on the right, and I've already put all of the pockets and flaps on the pages, and I rounded all of the corners like I showed you earlier on. So first of all, I'm going to get the string out of my way so I don't accidentally tape it into there. You're going to remove from one fin both sides, the tape on both sides. For some reason I just trimmed my nails again right before I decided to do this, which makes it really hard to get the tape off. So from there, you're going to stick your fingers in the top part of the pocket to open the hole, and then you're just going to slide it on, remembering not to go all the way down to the score line, because if you do, your page is going to get wonky. Be careful not to stick both the front and the back down at the same time, because you will not be able to line it up, obviously, if you can't see it. Oh, jeebus. Didn't see that. So, stick the front down first, turn it over, stick the back down. If this is hard for you to do, you can always wait and take the adhesive off the back after you get it straight where you want it. So, just like that. Make sure you're upside right, right side up, whichever way you say that. This time here, the pocket's going to be facing forward. You're going to line it up and stick it down. Flip it over. I didn't remove the adhesive off both sides just to show you how you would do it. I find it a little harder to get it off once this is on here. You may need to use something with a point, which is okay too, if that works for you. So, just pull, oh, be careful not to rip it. And just pull it out. It's usually easier than that. I just appear to have some dysfunction as a rule. There you go. Pull the backing out. Put your hand back inside there, line it up where you want it, and stick it down. Puppy is rearranging furniture in the dining room. I can hear him. Gets under the table, chases the cat, and moves the chairs all around. It's his thing. What are you going to do? Alright, so we just continue on until they're all attached. being sure that the strings are out of the way so you don't stick them down accidentally. I am going to continue on by removing both sides at once because it's just the way I do it. And again, if it works easier for you to do one at a time, feel free to do that. You can also peel down a little piece and fold it this way, you know, so it's sticking up. That way when you put it on, you can just pull it out very easily. I'll show you that next round. I didn't even think to show you that this time. Alright. Okay. Again, being sure not to stick down the back side until your shirt's where you want it. You don't want any adhesive to stick out of the bottom of where the page attaches to the fin. Otherwise, your embellishments and loose things are going to get stuck on that, and it's going to just be a big mess. Alright, so what I was saying about pulling these up, if you take the adhesive backing, you can get hold of it, you just fold it up like that. Then when you, you fold it this way, toward the book. That way when you slide the page on, you have a piece sticking out that you can pull, whoops, hold on there, that didn't work out so well, that you can just pull to undo it. That might make it a little easier to line it up, and I will do these that way, just to show you how. And so you get that loose, you fold it toward the binding, make sure your page is right side up. Put it where you want it. Stick down that top part of the adhesive and pull the paper toward you. Now, see, it pulled away from where it was supposed to go, but because the top part is already attached, it's easy just to line it up like that. And then you flip it over and you pull. Let me turn it around here. And you make sure your string is out of the way so you don't glue it down. Strings do not want to stay out of the way, apparently. Pull that, like that. Stick your hand back in the pocket, make sure you're lined up where you want to be, and stick it down, like that. That probably would be easier for people who aren't really comfortable with just, you know, sticking the pocket on the adhesive and hoping for the best. And if it is, again, feel free to do whatever works best for you. So you fold that down. I'll do it again just so you can see what I did again. You fold the back one down toward the binding. Stick your hand in the big pocket. Slide it on where you want it to go. Now you only have that little bit of adhesive on the top to stick it to, so line it up. Ugh. Give it a pinch. Making sure you're not all out of whack here. You can do it sitting like this as well. Pull that. Oh, see, that happens sometimes. You gotta be careful with that. The backing came loose before it was all off. So, get your sticky pokey tool. And if you have to, you can always stick tweezers in there and get a hold of it. Again, making sure you're lined up where you want it to be, where it's fully stuck down. And then give it a press. Flip it over. Gently pull this paper out of there. Make sure you're lined up where you want to be, and give it a press. Alright, one more. I will do it the way I normally do it, just to get her done. This X-Acto knife has a flat side on it, so if you set it down, it doesn't roll off and threaten to stab you in the toe. I don't know how many of you have ever done that, but I've had X-Acto knives roll off the table and miss my foot by an inch at most. Pretty scary stuff. So don't let your X-Acto knife roll around. Just saying. Stick your hand in the pocket. Line it up where you want it. Gently, not all the way down to the edge. stick it down and give it a rub. And what I just did was probably not the good idea, but it did line up good, but I accidentally pressed the whole thing back and front, so don't do that. Just in case. Okay, so there's your pages. They're set up pocket opening, or envelope opening, flap, pocket, pocket. There's pocket on both sides, big pocket on both sides. And then opening of the envelope, flap, pocket, little pocket, big pocket, envelope, envelope, big pocket, flap, little pocket, big pocket, envelope opening. So there's envelope opening in the front and the back. This is going to stick into the book that way. These will be covered up by the inside of the page, the inside of the cover, I mean. And then I will probably, more than likely, put pockets on the inside of the cover as well, just to hold like extra pictures and stuff like that, depending. Sometimes with travel-y things that are meant to be taken on travels with you, you should have a spot for receipts. You should have a spot for like the key card for the hotel, for coasters from like the restaurants and stuff you go to, because you know they have the little like cardboard coaster type of things. Excuse the dirt on that one. Like the cardboard coaster things, and you want to be able to just kind of stuff it in there. Now this one obviously might be a little bit too big here, but this is, you know, cheesy one I found at the dollar store. Beware poison. So it would still fit into the pages though. It's just the right size, and I do believe these are pretty standard sized. Hold on just a second, I'll grab a different one. This is another one I just found at Walmart in the clearance section. It would still fit. The problem with this one, it's twice as thick. So I would have to probably make a gusset in the pocket if I wanted specifically something for a coaster. I don't know how many people actually save them, or how many restaurants actually let you save them. So that's something to take into account when you're making pockets. You know, what's actually going to go in them. What would you normally pick up on a road trip, for instance? I would personally probably have several pictures from the drive. I would have a picture of the hotel room, and I would have, like I said, the key card, and probably pamphlets that I pick up at the rest stop, so I don't know why I do that all the time. But I get pamphlets from the area I'm in, like I have from Virginia and Connecticut and different states, because, you know, they have all kinds of fun stuff in them, and sometimes they're worth reading. Now, a full-size pamphlet, you would have to fold it in half and stuff it in one of these pockets, in this case, in the case of this book, but they would fit. So there's that. Okay, next we're going to, let's see how much time we got here. I think I'm going to pause it here, and then we'll come back and the next video and start the cover. This video is going to be right about a half-hour long at this point. Yeah, so we'll see you in the next video. Bye.